looks like Filipino sushi almost. It's pork belly nigiri. Adobo hot wings. Oh my gosh. Lechon baka. This looks incredible. That is so good. Los Angeles, the second largest city in America, home to the best beaches in California with year-round perfect weather. LA is easily one of the most famous cities in the world for many reasons. People come from all over the world to get a glimpse of this magical place, some as tourists, but many as immigrants, especially Filipinos. LA is the capital of Filipino Americans, with a population of over 600,000 Filipinos. That makes Los Angeles the second largest concentrated population of Filipinos in the entire world, only surpassed by Manila. And what do you get when you get a lot of Filipinos? Filipino food. Some of, if not, the best Filipino food in the entire world. Yes, you heard that right. Some of the top internationally rated best Filipino restaurants are not located in the Philippines, but in the heart of Filipino town on the east of Glendale Boulevard. So I spent a lot of time in the Philippines trying the local cuisines of each province and eating some of the most exotic foods, like tasting rats in Pangasinan. It's like chicken! On the contrary, I've also toured around Manila and tried some of the fanciest foods in the country. Oyster foie de gras. And what's pretty shocking is that there are 0 Michelin star rated Filipino restaurants in the entire Philippines. However, there are 2 that exist here in California, and that's where we're gonna start today's ultimate Filipino food tour at Spoon and Pork here on Sunset Boulevard. Let's check it out. I take that back, it's closed. We'll be back here at 12 when it opens. Next restaurant. All right, so we are here at Sampa. This is probably considered one of the best hole-in-the-wall Filipino-American restaurants. The menu looks very interesting. Again, we have that Filipino-American fusion that is very distinct of this Los Angeles Filipino food. Stuff I've never seen in my life, and I'm really excited to taste. So let's get into the kitchen. So everything you're looking at here is Filipino food, but it's disguised as American food, Italian food, Mexican food, all different sorts of foods, because this is Filipino-American fusion. Basically what the food that we're gonna be tasting today here in Los Angeles is all about. We have the spicy calamansi glazed chicken wings, crab fat fried rice, the pasta palabok, crispy duck pancit, kare-kare tamales, the cocoa shoots, ube cheesecake, and the halo halo tres leches cake. So before I jump into all this food, I'm definitely gonna need some help. She is a Netflix movie star, a Hollywood actress, and she also happens to be half Filipina, but she looks completely white. You couldn't really tell. Come on in here, Carla. Carla Humphreys, AKA Madeline Humphreys, is in the building. For all these restaurants, I need a true local who really understands this food more than me. And of course, we have my mom. She's gonna be the expert because she understands every single ingredient and all the traditional Filipino food, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do? So first off, we are gonna start with the kare-kare tamales.
Kare-kare is traditionally just peanut butter braised oxtail. Josh, being from Buena Park, grew up with a lot of Mexicans, so he was also privy to their cuisine. So this is a perfect marriage between Mexican and Filipino cuisine. A peanut butter veloute sauce on top with toasted sunflower seeds and bagaong dust. So the savoriness of the peanut butter and the saltiness of the bagaong go very well together.
Are you ready to try it? I'm so hungry.
Yeah, let's try this out.
That actually goes really well together.
So tamales are typically meat which is wrapped in masa. This is the braised oxtail inside the tamales. Traditional Mexican taste, but with the peanut sauce. Something I would never ever think about, like tamales in a kare-kare sauce, but it somehow works. So next up we have the pasta palabok, and palabok is usually like glass noodles.
Yeah,
it's noodles.
Yeah.
We have the pasta palabok, which is definitely not your traditional palabok, but it is a homemade saffron dough with a shrimp and tofu filling. And I have yet to have anybody say no to Parmesan Reggiano being put on top of it.
You can never go wrong with Parmigiano Reggiano, am I right? Oh my gosh.
So interesting.
I know, it's very interesting, and yet
Yeah.
you get the taste of what you want from palabok.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's like all in one bite,
Right.
which is really, really good. And the parmesan is not overpowering.
It adds that slight saltiness to it as well. I have to have another bite because it's just,
It's interesting.
It's
You have to, like,
interesting.
digest
Yeah,
it.
you
have to,
really
like,
do.
Taste it.
you have to digest what's going on in your
Yeah.
mouth.
And also normally with palabok, you can overeat palabok. This one you have like the whole satisfaction of like that one bite and not having to like eat a whole bowl of like palabok.
Here we have the spiced calamansi glazed chicken wings.
This is the perfect marriage between Korean fried chicken and Filipino flavors. We have the crispy chicken with the sweet and spicy calamansi sauce, toasted sesame seeds, dried red chilies, and fresh scallions.
So is this the Korean fusion like banchan?
I feel like I'm back in Korea. It's so interesting. The calamansi it's so subtle, but it's just subtle enough, just there enough to give it that Filipino twist.
This is what you would say would be the best pulutan.
Yes. I feel like I need a beer right now with this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crispy duck pancit. Now it's perfect that we have pancit with us right now because it is a birthday food, and today actually happens to be Carla's 27th birthday! Happy birthday!
I'll take it. That is a very Chinese thing, right? Is
Tradition,
this
yeah.
the more
Oh, it's a Chinese tradition, huh?
This is pancit canton. Yeah.
Yeah,
so it
but
is
the
more-
duck, it's the fusion of
Yes.
Chinese food.
Correct.
Okay.
We have the crispy skin duck pancit, which is a pancit canton noodle. And then we have the duck breast on top, which spends some time in the oven and then gets basted for a while. That gives it such a crispy skin.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting having duck in your pancit.
So normally pancit canton is served with shrimp and a little chicken sometimes. So this is a more refined version. This reminds me of home so much.
Yeah, there's a lot of spices I'm tasting in this pancit, and I could really feel the pepper in it too. So next up we have cocoa shoots. I had to order something from the vegan vegetarian section of the menu, even though I hate vegan food. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Right here, we have the cocoa shoots, which are bamboo shoots, sayote, and bean sprouts cooked in coconut milk with Thai chili. That has a little bit more Thai pulls together with the Filipino cuisine.
Do you cook bamboo shoots, Mom?
Yeah, dude. That was your favorite when you were a kid.
This looks very creamy, and then as you can see, it has these crispy sweet potato kamote flakes on
Eat it
top.
on this. It reminds me of Bicol because Bicolanos serve like spicy gata meals. It's kind of like a crispier laing.
I think the best food I ever had in the Philippines might have been in Bicol. I did an entire Bicol Filipino food tour,
Yeah, you did.
and it was
That's
incredible.
We have crab fat fried rice, which is made with crab fat butter that was used from the crab fat inside. Now that crab fat is being put into a pan with butter and makes its own butter. That's what we start cooking this with. Tomatoes, chives, and we put an almond tarragon crumble on top of it to give it a little extra texture. This is a little bit more of the Chinese Filipino fusion.
All right, I have been waiting for this in the kitchen back there, just looking at that crab fat butter and the smell.
I know, I can smell it from here. I'm like so hungry.
In Tagalog, it's called alige, right?
Alige.
No, it's called alimango.
The crab
Oh.
fat is alige.
Okay.
Alige.
Why would I try and correct her? I know. That is so good. I love how the rice is crispy too. So you have that, what do you call it? Oh, the tutong.
Tutong, yeah.
I love tutong, the rice at the bottom of the pot. I think this is my favorite dish here.
I must
I
try.
think this is the must for everyone to order.
All right, that was incredible food. That was perfect to start off today's food trip. So the real test is if it passes my mom. That's why we brought her today, because she is brutally honest. What do you think? Did it pass?
Sobrang sarap.
There you go.
Okay.
That was our 10th take. Case in point, this is really good food. I would definitely recommend coming here. Awesome. Now, before we head to the next spot, these were just 2 of the incredible 7 top-rated Filipino restaurants in Los Angeles for this ultimate Filipino food tour. And you know what makes this the ultimate food tour aside from the delicious food? It is the story that we're conveying behind today's video, which we couldn't have done without Storyblocks. Storyblocks is a complete stock solution for creators like myself that provide an unlimited library of royalty-free videos, audio, and images, all of these which I needed and used to make this video. How do you think I made the crazy intro to this video? I don't have time to go around and film B-roll all day, make my own music, and take photos of food. I just use Storyblocks. And this really saved me during the daily vlog era when I was uploading every day and barely had time to do anything else. What's great about Storyblocks is its array of options as it has subscriptions for every budget, so depending on what you need, there are flexible plans available for you. 4K footage, After Effects, Premiere Pro templates, sound effects, anything and everything you need to make a good video. If you're a creator and you want to have the biggest hack on the internet, then check out Storyblocks and sign up for their unlimited all-access plan linked below. All right, off to the next restaurant. This is Joel, aka Pambansang Kalokoy, aka the #1 Filipino-American food vlogger in the entire country. So he's here today to be our food expert.
Thank you.
I'm a wannabe food vlogger. He is a real food vlogger.
Come on. You're like everything, man. What are you talking about?
So-
Gutom na ako?
Let's check it out. So we are here at the park's finest. This had the top reviews of every Filipino restaurant online within this area. Guy Fieri has eaten here and he has given it the thumbs up, so that means a lot. I am here with the famous John Eric. He's the owner of this place, and this place has some history. How long have you guys been around for?
So we started off as a catering company in 2009, utilizing the small youth center we grew up with called Search for Involved Filipino Americans to teach us how to write a business plan, to create a program and a plan to showcase and present Filipino American cuts of barbecue with a Filipino flavor. So we grew up in this neighborhood, recent immigrant enclave, the last bastion of 213.
Were you born and raised here?
Born and raised, went to Union Avenue, Virgil Junior High, was lucky enough to grow up in this community and build a business in the neighborhood we grew up in. So think about the old Italian man who lived downstairs from his pizzeria. This is kind of what the park's finest is.
All right, where do we start? This is a lot of food.
Yes.
Okay, so first off, we have pulled pork. Pulled pork.
Now that is cooked for 16 hours, confit in its own fat. With each bite, you can try it by itself, but eventually you can have fun with the different sauce accompaniments that we have.
All right, let's try it in the raw, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's soft.
That's good.
Smooth. Yeah, that's fun. I could definitely see playing around with all the different sauces with that.
Yes.
Let's taste out these
Try the
sauces.
red off of what
Oh, I like that sauce.
Dude, yeah, that barbecue
that was good.
sauces.
That is good.
It's like sweet but tangy, and it
Yeah.
has this kick to it. This sauce is special, man.
Yes.
Is this longanisa?
This is the longanisa, that's the kielbasa, and then the red hots are the darker.
When food is so good, sometimes you just don't want to talk.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be reviewing, you're just eating.
I'm leaving it for you to talk.
You're the expert food reviewer here. It's so good. Mama Leia's coconut adobo. This is really saucy, so you need to eat it with a good amount of rice.
Oh my goodness. Mama Leia, I love you.
So instead of burnt chilies, the heat that we use is yellow California yellow chilies. Because we ate Tommy's, we ate In and Out, and then when you had extra chilies, you put it in the pickle jar. And when you needed the heat, using a California yellow chili that was already vinegar.
Masarap talaga siya.
This creamy beef adobo is something so different, and the sauce is so good. I could just eat the sauce and the rice alone, even without the meat. That's how special I think just, the sauce is. What did this place look like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, before you got started?
The Temple Beverly Corridor, also known as Historic Filipino Town, was one of the most infamous locations for youth-on-youth violence. At-risk behavior, Rampart Police Division scandals, Tupac and Biggie getting killed. It was one of the things that we had to deal with as a community. So being able to utilize food as a means of keeping the peace, staying out of trouble, learning about other people's cultures, as well as being able to share our own. Food was an escape from the violence that we had to deal with in this neighborhood.
What is this?
So that is our beef short rib, smoked for 16 hours, as well adjacent to it is our Timoai tri-tip. So Timoai is another term for a chieftain from the Sabanan tribe of Zamboanga.
Let's taste the tri-tip.
And then try it with the vinegar sauce, and then try it together.
Mexican crema. That's like horseradish.
It's Mexican crema horseradish with pink ingredients.
We're gonna get creative. We're gonna mix it with the sausawan and the Mexican crema. That's what Filipinos do, you know? Halo halo, you mix everything. Why not? Oh, that's even better. I need rice. All right, this is something I've been staring at since we were in the kitchen. Oh my gosh. This looks incredible. I wanna try it raw. Yeah, it reminds me of like a whole lechon baka almost.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
That's what it tastes like. And then the outside's crispy because you got the garlic flakes I can taste in there, yeah? All right, last but not least, we have the Mount Taal chicken. Dig in, boys.
You have to put this.
Oh, you have to put the sauce.
If you guys just sold this sauce, you'd become millionaires. The sauce alone.
I know that sauce is something different.
They put like cocaine or something in here. It's something like addictive.
Addicted, yeah.
This place really is something special. It's gonna be hard to top this off, and I'm really glad that we didn't come here for our first restaurant, because if this was our first restaurant, I couldn't stop myself from eating. Everything's just so good. So what are your expectations for a Michelin star restaurant?
I never heard about Michelin. I know it's a tire, but I guess it's the best food, huh?
Again, I'm not like that experienced with Michelin star restaurants. I've only been to like 2 in my life. I expect them to be super fancy, but they're
And
not.
formal. I thought it was
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
me
formal.
too. I thought it's like fine dining and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah,
but
that's what I thought.
it's pretty casual, you know?
Yeah, very casual.
What do you think about the menu?
It looks good. It's a little, their plates are a little pricey. Maybe that's why, because it could be really good, but we'll see.
So the first thing we're gonna try on the list is the tocino. Tocino ba to?
Parang ano siya? Crispy pata.
We got the sinangag, or garlic fried rice. Add a little papaya on the side. Achara. That's juicy.
Yeah. Parang hindi sa tosino.
Kasi nasanay tayo na ano, medyo manipis.
Manipis.
So how does this differ from the normal tocino that you're used to?
Yung tosino kasi sa Pilipinas, kulay pula, tsaka may mga curly-curly na konti. Pero ito parang adobo lang na
Adobo.
ng tig
Pork
2x2.
belly. It's like pork belly.
Tapos
Yeah, but the
kinat siya.
presentation is nice.
Yeah.
Very different from your typical tocino in the Philippines. This is like a fattier, crispy version. But yeah, this is really juicy. It's not incredibly sweet, which I like, you know? I don't like my food too sweet. All right, so next up we have the adobo hot wings. Maybe the most recommended. All the viewers have been telling me about. Never imagined adobo hot wings. Have you guys ever heard of that?
No, I never had
Tried it.
adobo.
It's a Michelin star restaurant, so I don't know if you're like supposed to use a spoon and pork. No pun intended. But you know, I kamai. Whenever it comes to wings or chicken, you know, I gotta use my hands. It's also the Filipino way though. You know, as they say, everything tastes better when you use your hands. That first bite is really good because it's super crispy and crunchy.
It's a bit spicy.
Too spicy for you
And
guys?
he's not too, I mean, it's okay. It's okay with me, but
Me too, it's okay with me.
For me, it's not really
say it's
spicy.
not for me.
It's just enough where I taste the spice, but I think I have a weathered tongue, so to speak. I've burned off all my taste buds through all the spicy food I've eaten over the years. Beef tapa. I gotta remember, we're hitting up 5 restaurants, so you really have to pace yourself. After doing this for years, I still haven't learned how to do that.
kind of chewy.
Chewy.
Chewy?
A little chewy, yeah.
Do you think you could do it better?
Of course. No, it's a little chewy. It's not that special, this one. I can get this anywhere. But this is a little chewy, that's all.
You know what? It's not all that, man.
Bro, these guys are brutal. To be fair, I told them to be brutally honest because it's good for change. Tokwa adobo. Pretty good. I'm not like a... It's decent. It's decent.
I'm not a fan of tofu either. But, hindi ko pa si Dolly Parton. This is LA.
We're eating fancy food here at the bus stop because
Yeah, the bus
the music
stop
was
is
too loud. It gets copyrighted. We couldn't really hear. So this here on the menu was the thing that excited me the most. It's like Filipino sushi almost.
Yeah,
It
but
is
it's pork.
It's pork belly nigiri. That's so creative. Is there fish inside of the pork? Or I'm
It's a
tripping.
seaweed. It's a seaweed.
That's a really unique mix of
It is.
flavors that's blasting. Yeah, you can really taste the nori and the sesame seeds. So you get this Japanese flavor, but infused in this just fat, juicy, tender piece of pork. And the rice is great.
Yeah, the rice is good too.
You know, that's something I learned in Japan. They said the most important ingredient is sushi is the rice.
Yeah.
Imagine that. That's easily my favorite thing on the menu. What do you guys think of the food?
I think it's okay.
It's okay, pero it's not super special. I was expecting formal and a little bit more social na social. Yun ang na-expect ko.
Expectations can only lead to disappointment. Remember that. And I think because it just has the word Michelin in it, everyone expected it to be the best meal of their life. I thought it was decent, but again, I came in with like expectations of it being the best restaurant in the entire world. So I think that's the sentiments of the crew and those fans that joined us. Hey, it's a good crew to have, you know. This is rare. This is rare to have a brutally honest
Especially
crowd.
if the Filipinos are eating Filipino food, you know. I mean, it's just an opinion.
I wonder what would Irwan use to think of that food. Irwan.
A1? All right, so after doing some research, apparently Spoon and Pork is not Michelin star rated, it's Michelin Guide. Michelin Guide is different from star. It's not as good, but it's still pretty good. So that's probably why it didn't meet up to the crew's expectations. Now, that's not to say it was a really good restaurant. These were the top 3 of the 7 restaurants that we visited in LA. If you want to see the best Filipino street foods of LA, that's linked below, but it won't be out for another week on the second channel. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe. This is my main channel. Subscribe to my second channel, link below, blah, blah, blah. Comment below if you'd like to see a part 2 of this where we do the best restaurants of the Bay Area, because I'm 20 minutes north of the San Francisco Bridge, and I'm pretty sure there's a Michelin star rated Filipino restaurant in Oakland. Comment below the best Filipino restaurants in the Bay Area, and hey, maybe we'll go and do this, because that was a lot of fun. See you in the next vlog. Peace!